Hi, my name is Francisca Ramirez, and I'm going to be informing you over babysitting. The purpose of my talk today is to help you learn a little more about babysitting. It might sound like a piece of cake. It's hard work. It's a job all in itself. As a teenager, it can help you think and have a different outlook in life. Your teenage years is when the mind is constantly expanding and learning. Babysitting can teach a teenager who wants a baby to not wanting one. Sitters are always needed, and usually babysitting is always a good side job for teenagers, especially because daycares are so expensive. Daycares is very expensive depending on the experience of daycare providers, age of children, hours per week they are cared for, number of children cared for. It can average up to $39,000 a year, or $800 to $500 a month, or $180 a week. Teenagers always take things less seriously until they are actually engaged in it by themselves. Then reality hits, and some do and some do not realize their surroundings. Teenagers get to see how much work children are through babysitting and can have a teenager change their mind about having a baby. They get to see that children are very dependent on the primary caregiver, and this is 24 hours a day. It's just not a 4 or 8 hour shift. Babysitting is hard work. It takes a lot of time and patience from the sitter to cooperate with them. Even though teenagers think, oh, how hard is it to babysit for a couple of hours? Okay, wait till they are changing diapers and washing hands and cleaning noses and faces, also having to make food for them and laying them down to nap and having them throw their fits in between. The United States has the highest rates of teenage pregnancy and births in the Western industrial world. Teen pregnancy costs the United States at least $7 billion annually. 34% of young women who become pregnant at least once before they reach the age of 20, about 820,000 a year. 8 in 10 of these teen pregnancies are unintended, and 79% are to unmarried teens. Teen pregnancy consequences: teen mothers are less likely to complete high school. Only 1/3 receive a high school diploma, and only 1.5% have a college degree by age 30. Teen mothers are more likely to end up on welfare. Nearly 80% of unmarried teen mothers end up on welfare. This is when reality sets into the teenagers. They no longer see children being so cute and adorable. They see how important kids are. They then begin to think twice about having kids of their own. I know I did. I would always say I'm never going to have kids. Of course, time changes, at least for the time as a teenager. It hit home, and children were not in my category. Children are dependent on their parents. Some teenagers don't realize how much their parents actually do for them. Children are dependent on their parents from newborn until 18. I don't know if the babysitting can help a teenager see this point of parenthood. I know I sure did. I realized my parents working so hard and my mother relying on me to take care of myself and her babies. There were a total of 3 of us. I realized not only did my mother have to give direct attention and personal care to her babies, but she and my father had to provide for us. There is bills to be paid, diapers to be bought, and as well as food to buy for all of us to eat. As much as I hated babysitting, it opened my eyes to a lot. It made me appreciate my parents more, not to want kids, and realize how much an expense they are. As a teenager, I realized these things through babysitting. Now I can imagine that other teenagers can too, and this can help with teenage pregnancies. Not saying this for a fact, but it can very much play an important role in their mind. It sure did mine. In conclusion, I have told you about when I was a teenager, I babysat for my parents a lot so they could provide for us. Even though I hated babysitting, I knew how much my parents worked to take care of us. Much more it was on my mother. Much so it was more on my mother because she was a primary caregiver and she worked. I have told you how babysitting can change a teenager's perspective about wanting a baby so young. I realized how much personal care was needed and how inexpensive it was to raise a family. Although I hated babysitting, I learned a lot at a young age. Babysitting or having kids of your own is not a piece of cake. It's hard work, and children are dependent on their parents. And as for a visual aid, there's not too much I can really show you other than saying that I'm a mother of my own now, and it's truly a journey in itself, and I'm learning every day that goes by. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
How old were you when you first started babysitting?
About 13, 14.
Would it make you stress?
Yeah.
It did? How did you deal with having to discipline your brothers?
Making them sit down and watch TV.
Did you use positive discipline, or did you just go by what you felt? Did you have time out from them, or Did you have to separate them?
I would separate one in one bedroom, one in the living room.
Uh-huh.
That's how I would do it. Anything else?
Okay.